Hello, hello, welcome in. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Let's see, is the audio working? Is the audio working? Yes. Let me make sure everything is good. Mute. Okay. Just want to make sure I can see all my commands here. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So it is Nick Zangle coming to you live at noon from somewhere in California on this Monday, April 26th, 2021. If you are here live, let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. This is the first live we're doing on the channel, so if you can hear me and see me, just give me a thumbs up. I'm going to check the live chat really quick. Let me check, and then we'll get into everything. Normally, I wouldn't do it this way on a live, but I want to make sure this first time that everything is working well. Let me mute myself and go and make sure I can hear myself. All right, I figured out we're live. We're good. Okay, so let me start by actually. I'm going to start with. Oh gosh, how come this isn't working now? All right, so we're going to actually start with an update to a story. Hello, number 277. I was just making sure everything was working before I continue on with the video part of this, which I will clip this part and upload it as a premiere later on. But I just wanted to make sure everyone could hear me and see me. All right. So I want to actually do an update to a story I talked about back in September, on September 15th, 2020. And I will link that video in the description after I'm done here, after we wrap up the live. But it was a story which was that was 7 months ago at this point, which is crazy how long ago that was. And the update actually came in February of this year. And so I'm a little late to the game, but I thought it would be the perfect story to start with on a live stream, because one of the main reasons I do more live streams is because it will allow more flexibility as far as updating stories, because I am a news commentary channel. And so sometimes when I'm making a video, by the time I edit and upload it, sometimes it's already out of date or information has changed. And so for me, I think live streams are a great alternative for me to start exploring and doing more of, because it allows me to kind of come to you, interact with you in the chat, which is something I've been enjoying pretty much the most out of the whole channel. I love the creative part of the channel too, but talking to you in the comments and in the chat is a lot of fun for me. And I won't get too long-winded here, but I am someone who not the most outgoing social person in real life. And so this is a great outlet for me to have that interaction with people who are interested in the same topics that I am. And so that is what a very brief thing, but I will continue touching on why I'm doing what I'm doing more in the days and weeks to come. But with that said, so I want to actually read from an article that it's a Fox News article. I know some people are probably going to roll their eyes, but they're referencing a lot of different sources in this article that are not political. So this is the first one I came across, and so I wanted to just read a few things. But basically, the story we're updating is the Netflix Cheer show, which was about cheerleading, collegiate cheerleading. One of the stars back in September, before that, was charged with misconduct regarding minors online. And so recently in February, there were two more people that were involved with that Netflix show that are now also being charged with similar crimes. And so I wanted to just read briefly about this, and then I will share with you some of the thoughts and what this really indicates to me about the entire cheer world and just media in general, and what they choose to highlight and how they handle conflicts like this when they arise. And so basically the article says, and I'm going to read part of it, is that coach and choreographer Robert Scianna Jr., who is 25, was arrested in Virginia. He is charged with felony taking indecent liberties with a child and using an electronic communication device to solicit sex. And he is allegedly solicited sex from a minor on social media. And Robert is actually someone I have come I've known about for actually a while, because before he was on one episode of the Netflix show, he was actually on a YouTube series on Awesomeness TV that was called Cheerleaders. And I could probably do a whole other like rant on. And by the way, I'm going to keep this less. This live is going to be less than an hour because I'm on my lunch break right now. And so that Cheerleaders show on YouTube, I came across it. I don't remember how it got recommended to me for some reason. I think it was because I have a past, or I should say, in high school, I was in marching band, and so I have a search history of marching band and leadership camps. And one of the ones that I would go to every year, or for 2 years, my junior and senior year, was run by the United Spirit Association, which is USA. They do marching band leadership camps for drum majors, which is what I was. They do cheer stuff. They do basically any of the like spirit or creative type of activities. They host camps in the summer, and they are implicated, or were one of the people who actually tipped off authorities to this story. I don't know why. I kind of speculated on that on my first video around this topic, and so you can go back and watch that after this. But anyways, the other guy who is now implicated, along with Jerry Lewis, who was the first guy back in last summer, who was actually one of the really big breakout stars. You've probably seen him on, like, they did the whole talk show circuit, the Ellen show, all that kind of stuff. You've probably seen their faces plastered everywhere. But now there's another guy. His name's Mitchell Ryan, who's 23, who was a college cheerleader, who was also arrested for alleged felony aggravated sexual assault of a child related to a July incident. And he was on the Navarro cheer team, which was the one that was featured on the Netflix show. And although he didn't appear on the show himself, he was on the team. And so their attorneys are basically saying this is a nightmare situation for him and his family, and that they're trying to work it out, and they're basically denying that any of this has happened. Like I said before, Jerry Harris was the other one who actually last summer, when I first reported on this, he was only being charged with one incident. As of now, he has 5 more counts, or 5 more allegations against him for knowingly using and persuading, inducing, and enticing a minor to, quote, engage in silly, explicit conduct for the purpose of transmitting a live visual depiction of such conduct. And so the Netflix spokesperson has come out and said, like everyone, we are shocked by this news. Any abuse of minors is a terrible crime, and we respect the legal process. So it's still up in the air. It's still a thing, litigation matter. It's still being litigated. I don't know if that was the proper term, but basically Netflix is distancing themselves from the situation, because that show it came out early 2020, right before everything went crazy in the world. It was a huge show, and it was in the cheer internet world. It was huge, and even went beyond that, because obviously, like I said, they went on Ellen show, they went on late night shows, they went on popular internet shows and whatnot. So before we get into my thoughts, let me just see what everyone is saying. So UC Boss says, OMG, I was in that high school. I think Navarro was, maybe you're referring to something else, Navarro College. It was a community college in, I believe it was Corsicana, Texas. So maybe you meant college, I don't know. But, or maybe you're referring to something else, I don't know, but let me know. But yeah, it's definitely a wild situation considering how big of stars they were and the severity of what is going on. Let me make sure my chat is working before I move on. Oops. All right. And I just want to say hi to Robin. Thank you so much for joining me today. If anyone else is here and wants to say hi, make sure to leave it in the chat, and I will give you a little shout out for being here for this first live. Thank you so much. So let's get thoughts. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this was the story that also came out recently about the cheer mom, and I think I saw this story or was made aware of it. Thank you, UC Boss, for for saying all that. For asking politely for those things. I know I've been critical, I should say, of people quote unquote begging for subscriptions and notifications and likes. But if you would like to do any of those things, of course, you are welcome to. But was a story that I actually heard from, I think it was Emily D. Baker, who mentioned this, and it was probably more widespread than that, but she was the first one I heard. Wait, hold on. No, Nick, I was that in, oh, got it. Yes. Yes, are you referring to cheerleader or drum major marching band? Let me know. Okay, so the story about the cheer mom who allegedly, what's the term I'm thinking of? Deep faked her. Oh, both. Cool. That's really cool. We'll have to talk about that. I'm going all over the place for this first one, but later on, I'm gonna do live streams that aren't just completely topical. They'll be kind of just where we can chat back and forth from a community perspective, just to kind of get to know each other a little better. So that is coming at another date. I will let you know. But cheer mom who used a deep fake to basically get revenge on her daughter or child's competitor. That's what came into my brain was, is the cheer landscape, whether it's high school, all-star, collegiate, is it an environment that is creating and allowing for this nefarious, suspect, illegal, whatever you want to call it, type of behavior to happen? And so that was the first thing I thought when I saw these new updates to this cheer scandal with people implicated in illegal behavior. And I don't know, but also I don't have proof of this part that I'm about to say, but I can't help but think people around my age, meaning I just turned 25, some people maybe a little younger, a little older. We grew up around a time where and by the way, Robert Scianna and Jerry Lewis, two of the three that were implicated, I know for sure are out gay men, and they are implicated in contacting other underage boys, basically. And so that's why this thought of me growing up around a time where being an out gay person became less stigmatized. And this is actually a topic I've covered a few times recently, whether it's regarding James Charles or recently Colton Underwood, which, by the way, that story I'm going to be updating too, because I don't think I did that story justice, or I could have done a lot better of a job. Where being out and gay is less stigmatized, and in my opinion, led to that group and many other groups who are historically marginalized being treated special and rather than being treated equal. And I think that may be contributing to these younger people in powerful, influential positions thinking possibly, obviously I can't read their mind, that they are operating under a different set of standards, or it could just be a lapse in judgment of people in positions of power thinking that they maybe can get away with stuff, or maybe they have a leg up on certain things. And think back to the James Charles situation that just happened, where he basically said he was desperate because he was in this position where he wasn't meeting people the way his friends were or whatnot. And maybe this could be a parallel situation and a new, more common thing that's going to happen in this post new media age, where we're seeing kind of the ramifications and the effects of new media and the people who have gained influence and fame because of it, even if they are underage or interacting with people who are underage. And so that was kind of my general thoughts on this situation and some of the collateral damage that's going to happen because of this. Now, I didn't have too much plan for this live on what I wanted to say, because I wanted to kind of feel out if anyone was going to come here, or if there was going to be any technical difficulties. But I'm planning on doing more lives like this. I wasn't sure how much I was going to share as far as updates to the channel, but I will be going live, if I am going to, at either noon or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time, whatever it's called. And the way you're going to find out quickest about that happening, because I don't have a community tab on the channel quite yet, is through my email list. And you can find the 2-step process to sign up for that in the About section on my channel. Basically, you just go to my website, nickzangle.com. The page you go to right away, it'll just ask you for an email and a name. And the only thing required is the email, but of course, having a name makes it a little easier, even if just a first name. You will click sign up, and then you'll go to the confirmation email and click the red "Yes, subscribe me to this list" button to make sure that you are a real human and that you're added to the list. And I will notify you within probably an hour or two before I actually go live. And so that's what's going to happen. And the reason I am going live and I'm choosing 2 different times that it could possibly happen throughout the day is, one, because right now I'm on my lunch break. And so when I do 12 o'clock videos, I am limited to an hour or less. But at 6:00 p.m., I am off work, so I can potentially go a little longer and have a little more interaction with you, maybe cover a story more in depth with nuance, or react to a video. Of course, there's more cars driving by. And also, up until now, I've been uploading full-length videos on Monday and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. It's been great. I've been able to follow that for months now. But I realized that was actually boxing me in by forcing myself, obviously it's me who put the pressure on, to upload at noon on both those days. And I was rotating through 4 main general topics, which was private sector news commentary, public sector as in politics or public policy and government, internet news culture, or internet culture news, and pop culture news. But what's interesting is I find the most interesting topics are the ones with that cover all 4 of those. Meaning, like, for instance, this cheer topic, if I could go back to this topic and cover the implications from a political and legal standpoint, to private business practices of the cheer industry, to the internet impact of it, and pop culture impact of it, all in one story. And I love those stories that really cover it all. So that is what it is. And then I was posting short clips of those videos on the days in between. And so I'm just figuring out how I want to approach that, which basically I'm going to do these lives, and then I'm going to chop or clip the actual part that would have been similar to the older videos, and then leave the kind of back and forth between you and the comments on the live stream. And then if I feel it fits, or doing something like that, I will clip short clips, less than a minute, from those segments from the live, if that makes sense. And those will be posted when I feel they are appropriate. I don't want to post anything more than every 6 hours, because when I was doing the shorts at the beginning, I was testing out how often I could post them, how many I should post, and how YouTube kind of reacts to that. And what I noticed is that they did not like when I was posting a whole bunch of shorts at once. And so that's why I opted to just do one on the days between the full-length videos. And so there's that. And speaking of schedules, I'm not going to hold myself to just Monday and Friday now. I want to go live at least once a week, and maybe I will go live every day. Maybe I'll go live at 12 and 6 every day. I don't know. It just depends what topic is being covered, if there's developments, how much I have on my mind. And I think that'll make sure I keep the quality up for the actual content I want to put out forcing myself into this box, and also stretching myself to put something out just because I held myself to this schedule and it sacrificed the quality. So let me get to the chat. I know I see some subscriber of mine, but they go by UC Boss. Okay, cool. So she says, you're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, Nick. Yes, I am. And I just want to continue to say thank you, because like I said in a few videos ago, I don't typically ask for a subscription. So I'm happy that that is still growing even without me asking for it, which I think is a sign to me that I should keep up what I'm doing and continue to improve. My last video, actually, full disclosure, the Colton Underwood coming out video, was was the sign from the universe, because I actually had to pre-film that video because of some work things. Um, beside, what did I never? Yeah, yeah, I never asked. Yeah, I mean, I'm debating if I should nuance my stance on that. Maybe not ask every time or upfront on a video. Maybe every week, one video towards the end. Maybe we'll see. Um, you're getting close to 1K. Yes, it's very exciting. And there's always flux up and down. Some people, maybe they hear something of mine or they see something and they're like, you know what, time for me to bounce. Or in that same videos, oftentimes it's a whole group of people who are like, hey, this is my jam. So it's a very interesting thing to be observing. To be honest, I'm not. Okay, UC Boss says, to be honest, I'm not a fan of the shorts. I miss the lives and premieres. So I was still doing premieres on Mondays and Fridays, but I don't know if it's a YouTube thing they weren't notifying of subscription or subscriber notified. I don't know. It could depend on the topic. I know some topics I cover are more controversial than others and are more quote unquote YouTube friendly than others. And so that could have to do with some of it as well. But that is why I stuck to it, because I wanted to make sure, even if you didn't get notified of it, that you could show up at noon on Monday and Friday and know that there was a premiere there. So I don't know. It's very interesting, kind of weird to try to figure out. And you said, oh, good, thank gosh. Okay, good. And you said I can't comment on the shorts. So what's interesting was up until 2 weeks ago, maybe, I was leaving comments on the shorts. And what was interesting is, because I was clipping things from the full length videos, what I found was some of the people who were commenting who were new viewers, which my whole idea behind the shorts was to, I mean, obviously serve existing viewers, but to reach newer people to get them to the full length video. The problem with that was they were commenting on the shorts based on what the short was presenting, but they weren't going to the full length video. And their comments were, some of the subjects in the comments basically would have been answered, or they would have seen something else to really change their comment or not be as accusatory or whatever, what they were trying to say in the comment, if they had seen the full length video. So to me, I said, okay, I'm going to turn off comments on the shorts. And if someone really wants to comment something mean or aggressive or whatever, or accuse me of something that I know is not true, because in my full length video, I debunk what they are saying, I at least want them to have to work to get to click on the full length video and comment there, so we can have a discussion there, because at least I know there's a chance that they saw a full video. It was a decision that was it was something that I didn't expect to happen when I was posting shorts, and with that being my strategy. And so it was an interesting change of that. And so that is why the comments were turned off. It wasn't on your end or anything, or wasn't a mistake. I did do that on purpose. And if you were signed up to the email list, you should have gotten an update, but I know sometimes emails go to spam. And so you might have to add me to your contact list on your email account to make sure it doesn't go to spam or to a different folder. I know on my Gmail, sometimes things get put in the social folder or the promotions folder or spam or just important. Could be that. Let's see. What else did we say? UC Boss says, I had over 400 views on a shorts video. That was cool. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting to see the shorts, because sometimes, for instance, my James Charles video I did regarding his situation, his scandal. The main video didn't do that great. I mean, it did normal, like it was a normal video for like average views and whatever. But when I clipped a whole bunch of clips, and I did a lot of clips for that one. That was a Friday video, and I clipped like, I think, maybe 6 clips, and I uploaded 3 shorts on Saturday and 3 shorts on Sunday at noon, 3 each. Like one day after posting the short, the 3 from Saturday all took off in shorts, like straight to the moon, 1,000 views each, like at 4 a.m., which I think the reason that it does that is because the shorts were being beta tested in India, and India's time zone is different. So like 4 a.m. I guess is a more realistic time that they will watch. And then the next day, the other three I think did the same thing, or maybe one of them didn't. So I had like 1,000 views on 5 different shorts for a full length video that was like 100 or 200 views. So it's very interesting to see how shorts are panning out, and obviously they're new, so there's some flux in that, and that's why I had to at first wasn't sending them to subscriber feeds or notifications, because I wanted to make sure that I knew what the heck was going on. I didn't want to flood your feed before I knew it. And so once I went down to one a day, that was when I felt comfortable sharing them in your feeds. And I actually gained a lot of subscribers from those shorts. So I wanted to ensure that they were happy with shorts as well. So that's kind of where I'm at in my head wise is if you're going to get content, if it's going to be alive, it'll be at noon Pacific, which is 3 Eastern, so you have to figure out your time zone, or 6 Pacific, which is 9 Eastern. And any day of the week. I'm not holding myself to Monday or Friday anymore. I'm like, I can talk as long as it's 12 or 6. I can talk live about anything in the category of what I've been talking about so far on the channel. And then I will clip the actual like news part of the segment and upload that at some time, either at midnight or 6 a.m. Or what if I'm not doing a live at 12 or noon or 6 p.m., then I'll put it there. But you can expect content, whether it's a short, a segment of a live, or a live at 12, 6 p.m. any day of the week. And so that gives me a little more flexibility, like I said, to make sure what I'm talking about is something I want to talk about and I care about, and I have information that I need or want to get out there and have some thoughts without holding myself to a schedule to where it starts to negatively impact the content I'm putting out. And so I'm going to check the chat one more time before we start thinking about wrapping up. Yeah, make sure you check your email, and you can add me to your contacts to make sure that the email list emails are getting to you. And okay, UC Boss, I will look forward to hearing from you. And if you don't have anything else, I want to thank you so much for joining me for the live. Make sure to look out for, if you joined for a few seconds and had to step out, look out for the segment clip of the actual news information part of this and my thoughts. And some shorts will come later, maybe 1, maybe 2, I don't know. It depends. And make sure to check your emails for notification of when I go live next. And I will also, when I have that live scheduled, I will put it on the homepage of my channel. At the top, say upcoming live streams, and it'll have it scheduled when I plan on going live next. And if you're watching the replay and you want to comment still, you can leave a main comment and I will get to it as soon as I can. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I feel like I wanted to say something else, but I can't think. Thank you so much for joining me live. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I'm thinking live stream, segment clip. Oh, timestamps. Okay. So I'm going to, if you have on my full length videos, I've been doing the chapters, the timestamps. So you'll see the bar that shows like how your progress. It basically just says like it's broken up. So if you come back later and you don't remember where you were, you can go in the description, and I have a little description of each spot in the video, what's being talked about. So for these live streams, that is going to be very important. But I've also clipped them to the segments, and then I'm going back through old videos that I'm referencing in updates, like the Jerry Lewis one I just talked about or Jerry Harris. Why did I say Jerry Lewis? Jerry Harris. In this video, I'm going to go back and timestamp that one as well. So UC Boss says, don't overwork. No, this is actually a good thing, because you know what? I'm just going to keep going on. I still have a half hour left of my lunch. I don't care. So the problem I was coming to was I was spending too much time, in my opinion, on editing the video. Not as far as graphics, like the graphics I was able to easily do, but as far as like cutting it down, trying to make it too perfect, trying to cut out every little breath, every little thing. And I found that I was starting to become a little robotic and a little inhuman, I guess it would be, or a little too machine-like for my liking as a viewer. And so, and it was taken away from my time to research topics or gather my thoughts and to interact with you. And I still have a full-time job, and I still have still have other responsibilities lately. And so I thought I would rather spend more time researching, putting my thoughts together, interacting with you, especially if, um, especially if the graphics I'm actually putting out there and the edits I'm doing aren't necessarily adding to anything, if that makes sense. And as a news commentary channel, the time that I was taking editing delayed my video output to the point where I think it was detrimental to the timing of stories as far as updates and what I want to say. And so I think live and then taking the segments and then creating shorts from that is a better option for me at this point without sacrificing the quality. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure I probably forgot something, but I will probably circle back to this and retouch on this at some point in the coming days and weeks. So with that said, thank you again so much for joining for this first live on the channel after 1 year of content being posted that is still live and nothing has been deleted at this point. So I want to thank you again. And let's see, UC Boss, are you on Twitter? I am not on Twitter. That is going to be an update coming up soon. It's almost been a year since I actually left Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I think that was all it was on. But that was a whole other thing. That actually reminds me. I'm going to be doing a lot of updates about like 1 year later what's going on. So I am not on Twitter. And I think it's been for the good, long story short, but I will touch on that in the near future. So with that said, thank you again so much for joining me. I know I keep wrapping up. Now I know how Emily D. Baker feels on her lives where she has like 10 wrap-ups at the end. I know how she feels now. I will see you in the next one. Make sure to check your emails and the channel homepage for when a new live is scheduled to happen. You will be getting notifications of clips or the segment that is non-chat related sometime today or tomorrow, and shorts after that. So with that said, thank you so much. Make sure to click around the channel if you haven't already, if you want more content from me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.